Beautiful Bombs.
Hi there, welcome once again to Beautiful Bombs, a show that explores the best and least successful singles in pop and rock music history. Songs where you know the artist, perhaps, but you may not know the song, or maybe you've never heard of it at all. In which case, I'm here to tell you all about them, and my name is Adam Marsland, and our song for today is Countdown, Lindsey Buckingham. Producers, Lindsey Buckingham and Richard Dashit. Writer, Lindsey Buckingham. Singer, songwriter, guitarist, and producer Lindsey Buckingham is best known as the sonic architect behind the transformation of British blues band Fleetwood Mac into late 70s pop superstars. While Stevie Nicks brought the sultry mystique and Christine McVie brought the hits, it was Buckingham's vision and arrangement skills that provided the framework for his bandmates to really shine. It was also Buckingham who, after the multi-million selling 1977 Rumors album, insisted the band avoid making an obvious follow-up, and instead, as a response to the ongoing new wave, move into more experimental and adventurous territory. 1979's sprawling double album Tusk was where Buckingham came into his own as an artistic visionary, and the album has since become a touchstone influence for indie pop and lo-fi artists attracted to its alternately dreamlike and shambolic soundscapes. After Tusk only sold 4 million copies, Buckingham's bandmates insisted on a retreat to safer commercial territory. As a response, Buckingham began a parallel solo career to continue his sonic experimentation. 2 moderately successful solo albums followed, including the top 10 hit Trouble. When drummer Mick Fleetwood prevailed upon Buckingham to morph his 3rd solo album into a Fleetwood Mac effort, the result was 1987's Tango in the Night, a worldwide smash that spun off 5 hit singles. While Tango in the Night became the band's biggest selling album after Rumors, Buckingham, with help from keyboardist Christine McVie, basically cobbled the tracks together from fragmented contributions from the other members who were all struggling with personal and chemical issues at the time. The dysfunctional environment came to a head as the band prepared to tour behind the album. Buckingham had grown weary of the toxicity of the band dynamic, and in what he termed a survival move, pulled out of the tour at the last minute, creating an ugly schism within the band. A schism that was made even uglier by unresolved personal issues between Buckingham and former girlfriend Stevie Nicks, who famously broke up during the recording of Rumors but continued as bandmates for 10 years afterwards. Fleetwood Mac soldiered on with 2 replacement guitarists for several more years before another round of personnel changes, including the departure of Stevie Nicks, took them temporarily out of commission. Meanwhile, Buckingham's methodical approach to studio production meant it would be several more years before his own follow-up to Tango would appear. It finally came in 1992 with the release of Out of the Cradle. Countdown was the second of 4 singles to be released from the album. In contrast to the massive success of Tango in the Night, none of those singles made the US Top 100. During the Countdown period, Lindsey Buckingham was separated from Fleetwood Mac. He didn't think he was ever going back. For the first and kind of last time in his career, unless you count his new album, was trying to establish himself as a mainstream artist. So he's got the weird experimental side of him and the commercial Fleetwood Mac side fully integrated on this album. But it's not lightweight pop. In fact, the other thing that's really distinctive about that is it's mostly a happy and hopeful song. It tells a story about somebody that's waiting for a change in his life, but, and here's the thing, he is so certain that it's coming. He's right on the cusp of positive change that he's counting down the days, minutes, seconds until it gets rolling. And Countdown is just such a lovely expression of deep pop, and even inspirational pop, coming from somebody whose previous work was a little bit paranoid, a little bit weird, a little bit on the edge, and here's this guy finding peace and giving you this very, very lovely song that inexplicably did nothing on the charts. It may well have been a result of the label leading with the song Wrong, which was a Lindsey Buckingham sort of blues-based diatribe at bandleader Mick Fleetwood's tell-all biography of the time. It's a cool song, but it's not even in the top 5 or maybe even top 10 songs on Out of the Cradle, whereas Countdown, had Fleetwood Mac done it, it almost certainly would have been a huge hit. It wasn't. So, another great lost single, unquestionably. Countdown's simple but extremely effective verse and chorus are supported by some familiar Buckingham production touches, layering delicate guitar hooks throughout, some recorded at half speed to give the track a hazy sheen when played back normally. The drums are a quirky lo-fi take on Mick Fleetwood's steady but off-kilter timekeeping, and reverb pops in and out of the lead vocal to accent certain lines in the chorus. It's all topped off by a blazing guitar solo on the fade-out Buckingham engineered to sound like a buzzing bee. Straightforward, concise, but still inventive, Countdown is a 3.5-minute amusement park ride to pop heaven. Despite great anticipation in Buckingham mounting his first ever solo tour, backed by an army of as many as 7 guitarists, Out of the Cradle was a commercial disappointment, peaking only at number 128 in the US, significantly lower than his solo albums before or since. Despite that, the album has received near universal critical praise, with many critics even singling it out as one of the best of the decade, earning praise for its balance of pop craft, experimentation, and audiophile quality. In the years since, Buckingham's stature has only grown. In 1997, Fleetwood Mac famously reunited for a chart-topping concert and live album, The Dance, which featured Buckingham's dazzling solo rendition of the 1987 Fleetwood Mac hit, Big Love. As a result of that performance, almost overnight, Buckingham achieved mainstream recognition as one of rock's most accomplished and underrated guitarists. Buckingham continued with Fleetwood Mac until the band parted ways with him in 2018. In that time, he produced 2 albums with 4 of the band's 5-member classic lineup, 2003's Say You Will, and 2017's eponymous duet album with Mac keyboardist Christine McVie, both of which charted high on both sides of the Atlantic. Meanwhile, Buckingham has continued to explore new territory on a series of solo albums, culminating in 2021's release of LINDSEY Buckingham, an album many critics have praised as his best, most balanced, and most accessible release since Out of the Cradle. All that said, in a 50-year career of juggling a spirit of adventure with classic roots and pop sensibilities, Countdown from Out of the Cradle ranks as one of his most accessible and positive music statements. Despite having everything going for it, it somehow failed to find an audience, making it another classic example of a beautiful bomb. So that wraps up another episode of Beautiful Bombs, and as always, I would love it if you would let me know in the comment section your nominees for the greatest lost pop and rock singles in the history of modern music. And as always, I'd also like to remind you that I too am a musician, and if you enjoy the music that's featured on this show, there's more than a passing possibility you'll enjoy some of the music I have been involved with. So if you're interested in checking that out as well, it will be in the first comment along with a link to today's featured song. And always remember to like and subscribe to the Karma Frog 1 channel for this and many other quality music and adventure programs. I am and will remain and have been Adam Marsland, your humble host. We'll see you next time on the next episode of Beautiful Bombs. Beautiful Bombs.